You can keep talking about it. I'm not. But she was explaining how it was a number we had to put in to log in here.
Yeah.
So that's what she was explaining. So I'm not. So give us one moment, y'all. Hey. Okay, like exactly. Yes. Hello. Hey, y'all. I have to allow. Oh, sure. Now we're just gonna mute all of this. Back to the studio. Oh,
Until we have like the red and blue going on.
yeah. Yeah. Ooh, I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, sorry. It's like, that's what I had to do. Sorry, my fault. Hello, viewer. How are you? Welcome to the immersive experience. I am glad that you all have joined us today for what this is going to be something very new to the immersive experience. So this is the first time that I've ever um did this with anybody except for like Cedric.
Okay.
Was like the first in-person interview that I've done. So
I'm gonna turn this off.
okay, yes, you can tell it.
Alexa, please turn it off.
Okay. So
A little
I
bit.
think we should be okay.
Yeah.
If it's bad for y'all there, just let us know. Okay, and then I'm gonna be like this. We're not inviting you in. So this is better. So first things first, I just want to introduce you.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote an introduction for you, girl. Hope you're ready.
Okay. Okay.
So today we have the distinct honor of welcoming a truly remarkable individual born in the great heart of South Carolina,
Virginia.
West Virginia.
West by God, Virginia.
Oh my goodness, this is terrible. I'm already fucking up. Oh no.
It's all good. It's all good.
I thought it was South
I
Carolina.
don't know. But it's all good. My mom's in North Carolina. That's where she lives.
Your
So
mom.
maybe
Oh, okay.
that
I'm
makes
like,
sense.
Carolina is all I be thinking of. And I meant to ask you when I came in here, but I started doing tons of other things. So, and then she was born in West Virginia. Karrish is a seeker of the truth and a foundation of knowledge. The journey is one of relentless curiosity and boundless creativity. Karrish is not just another artist, she is a master of her own craft, expressing her innermost thoughts and emotions through her captivating drawings and paintings. Her art is a testament to her profound understanding of the human experience, and her compassionate soul shines through in every stroke of her brush. Beyond her artistic talents, Karrish is an avid reader, a dedicated teacher, always eager to share her wisdom and inspire others. Her passion for learning and her commitment to the truth make her a tower of light in a world often shrouded in uncertainty. Please join me in welcoming to the immersive experience Karrish, a master in her own right. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
That's so beautiful. I'm like,
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you, I watch this other podcast,
right,
called Club Shay Shay, and so when I watch him, he always do these like elaborate introductions. So I was like, I need an elaborate introduction for her, and I'm learning as I go along, so I'll be able to pick up, do more, become more of who I need to become as we progress.
Hey, we're learning. It's a beautiful journey. This is a new process. Like you said, you didn't have too many interviews, so this is a new, a new thing. And I've never been really interviewed, so this will be also a nice thing too.
Anyways, they should have been interviewed.
It feels like more like a conversation anyway. So.
It is. It's gonna definitely get at because we always have really good conversations.
We do.
So
we like to
So I don't know if there's anything that you would like to say to them, or in a way that you would like to introduce yourself. I don't want to just hop in. My questions are a little deep, or if you're ready, I could definitely just hop in.
Well, I mean, I can introduce myself. My name is Karrish. Well,
Yes, Karrish, girl.
I'm on this journey of life that I'm just trying to figure things out. I feel like it's an ever constant growth. That it's there's a race, there's a journey, but it doesn't feel like it's ever done because there's always room to grow. Like even if you think you're at your pinnacle, at that time you learn how to teach, and teaching is another way of growing, and it's almost like you're going in these different levels, and people, if you're getting super deep about it, people talk about afterlife and things like that, and that there's different levels of like dimensions and stuff, and that gets really esoteric and really deep. But the thing is I feel like on this journey I hope to overcome and evolve as a soul.
Yes.
And that's how I feel, is like I want to learn everything I can, and also share whatever I can, because I guess my deepest passion is not just learning, but also passing on the knowledge that I have learned without, or like there are some people who like proselytize and things like that. I don't want to do that. I want people to be enjoying and learn because it's just organic, and that's I guess a philosophy of my type situation.
That's really good. And I feel like that just brings me right to my first question, which is, can you share a pivotal moment in your life that significantly shaped who you are today?
Something, it's funny, there's a lot of things that I think would have shaped my life. There's different milestones in my life that I think have changed. I would say that there are generational, I wouldn't say curses, but I mean, like, there's generational things that I would make to myself, promises I would make to myself. I always said that I would go to school, and I love West Virginia, don't get me wrong, but I made a promise to myself. I was like, I'm ready to get out of West Virginia. I don't want to leave here forever.
Right.
It's not that I wanted to leave there forever, but it was a point of like, I wanted something more for myself. And when I was in high school, I knew I was different than people. I knew that I had a different thirst for a different type of knowledge, and I wasn't just, I wanted to be popular, but I think for me it was more of, let me learn how to do this, let me learn how to do that. And I learned about playing in the woods, and like it was uncommon, like I'm sure down here it would be unheard of, but like we would play in the dirt, we'd play in the woods, how does this work, what do butterflies do?
Right.
And that was like early childhood. And then college, I wanted to make sure that I pushed forward, and I tried to graduate early. And I also graduated early because I came down to be with my husband.
Okay. Yes.
And also like coming on this path that I'm on, this journey of my spirituality, and my spirituality. I told my husband one, hey, what if I want to go to like a pagan pride? And he's like, yeah, sure. And those were defining moments. Sometimes absolutely. That simple, yeah, sure, it will change you.
It sure will. But that'll make you feel like you actually got somebody on your side. I feel like a lot of times, like, people don't. This is what I always call them. I don't know how other people subscribe to them, but I call them like delusions. And people aid in our delusions, basically. So it's things that we can have in our head, and we'll think, oh, people are gonna think this is crazy. But as soon as you have somebody that solidifies you're crazy, you kind of like, oh, okay, this is clutch. Yes, thank you very much. We could definitely do this.
I will say his weird matches my weird. Let me just say that is the goal in life, is to find someone, regardless of platonic or romantic. You should find somebody that matches your vibe, your tribe that matches your vibe.
Absolutely. Can I ask you, in the sense of like being with your husband, how has that helped shape you?
Oh, he is my everything, and it's funny is I know with everything. He's my best friend, and it's hard to explain. I came down here, and people are like, oh, you moved for a man, oh, you did this, you're a strong, independent woman. I am, but I also knew that it was a chance to help me move from the place that I was telling you that I didn't feel like I fit.
Right.
And he made me feel like I belonged, and he made me feel so loved, and he made me feel special. And like, you'll hear people say, oh, you're beautiful, and you're like, I don't believe you, oh my god, I don't believe you. I believed him, and every day he tells me I'm beautiful, and every day I feel there's a sense of confidence. And no, I don't need another person's validation to make me feel confident. Right. Let me tell you, it feels pretty damn good to hear that and know that somebody cares about you. And like, I'm weird also, I sniff his head because I want to make sure that every moment I spend with him, regardless, you never know when it's someone's last time. Like, life is so precious, and people forget about how, I wouldn't say fragile, but like fleeting it is.
Right.
Regardless if we live, up to 80, 100 years or, tomorrow. But it's always lovely just to be, he's changed my life. He's my best friend, and I don't know what I would do without him.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I like that. So, how do you balance various passions and talents in your daily life?
You want the honest opinion?
Absolutely. I wouldn't take it any other way. If it's not honest, I probably don't want it.
So I get these crazy harebrained ideas, especially like during like a couple months before Halloween, and I'm like, I talk to my best friend, i.e., my husband, and I'm like, hey, what if we do this? And he's like, you don't have enough time. Like he's trying to be my reality. Like I appreciate him 100%, and but then I'm like, oh, let's do this, and I it's funny because I will tell you this. A lot of my passions come from dreams. I know that's a right turn. Sorry.
Right. No. It's perfectly fine.
So a lot of my passions come from dreams. Like I had so they do Christmas sweaters at work or holiday sweaters. The Advent calendar holiday sweater came from a dream. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I make an Advent calendar. And then it just started coming to me how I would do it. And I learned how to flatten cups. And I was like, oh, I have to flatten these cups. And so I made a whole bunch of flattened cups. And I said, oh, that's how I'll do the Advent calendar. Yeah. And that's how I did it.
Nice.
Now, the dinosaur that I did for this year, or last year.
The skull on that at one point.
Oh, yeah, I have it over here. Hey, hon.
Oh, you had it on the table.
We have it. He'll bring it to me. I love costuming. I think that's the thing is like, it's not that I don't want to be somebody else, but I love the idea of, here you go. Thank you. I love the idea of trying to do something different and unique. And I always like to, I know that's a double-edged sword, but I like to outdo myself.
Yeah. No, I don't feel like that's a double-edged sword. I think that's the only way that we can truly grow into something. Like to do something, to set a standard of being able to do it in that capacity, and then to one up it. Like I feel like that's how you become better at your craft. That's how you put the things into fruition that you're trying to put out there. If I say I want to be a master at something,
yes,
I can't get stuck on just separating atoms or breaking atoms down. I have to study the things that I find after I break them down. So
I've learned a lot of stuff by costuming. Like I learned how to, like I knew how to sew because my grandmother had taught me how to sew.
Right.
And she showed me how to use an old school treadle pedal sewing machine. But then I love the idea of like, she taught me how to make bonnets and she showed me how to make dresses and these small little things that I learned from her, these, I guess, domestic crafts, as you will, has like, it's funny, you learn so many things when you learn how to craft and do your art. You learn techniques and things that you can talk about and share with other people and connect with. And I think that's what's most amazing about my art is how by learning a certain technique, I can help others see the technique or see it from an artistic perspective or a structural perspective or knowledge I learned. Like when I was doing the dinosaur, I learned so many damn dinosaur things.
Yeah, I know you had told me that this is how is it styrofoam?
It's craft foam. Yep.
Yes. Okay. I remember you telling me that, and you had to sand it down and all types of stuff, and then you painted this.
And then I painted it, and I wanted to make it look like so there's bone, like regular bone. If it's fresh, it's like that white and red because of blood vessels. But as it petrifies, it turns more gray and blue. So if you actually look at a dinosaur bone, it's bluish. Some dinosaur bones, ones that I have are bluish in hue, like the petrified ones. Now the ones that are in like South America and the out west, they're brownish and darker, but they're also coming to the point of being petrified because of the calcification and the there's some other things I'm trying to remember, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but basically when certain things leak out, it basically turns it to stone. Okay. I have to remember, but we can always go to the next podcast.
Yes, I know, and we could definitely do that too. So you can always come in and join any one of my panel discussions as well.
I would love that.
We always have a good time on there. I know you always tune in, so I never worry about that. I do want to ask, like, what got you thirsty for knowledge, to keep expanding yourself, to not let yourself like stay just okay with the base knowledge that you have from like even growing up in West Virginia?
The first thing that comes to my mind, and then you're gonna laugh at this. I will say a lot of it could be fear of death.
Okay.
And I know that's not an answer. Like, I want to say I love knowledge because I like teaching knowledge, and I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I like having, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, what is this or what is that? Like, I was like reading even we were reading the book, and I was like, what is this disease? It sounds very old timey. And like, I think he said it was typhoid. And
Okay.
I was like, I have no, I'm like, it sounds like dysentery, which I know what dysentery is because of Oregon Trail, but I'm like, I'm now searching of what the typhoid is, and I'm like, I think a lot of my motivation, my path, I have ADD. I'm going 3 different directions.
Let's go. I got ADHD. I got ADHD, so I'll follow you. Don't worry.
Okay, you follow 5 different rabbit holes.
Take the rabbit holes, and I'll still be able to meet you at the end. Like, yes, that was complex, but we here. We done simplified the problem. Thank you for showing me your work. Like, yes.
Well, as I mentioned before, I think death had put me on the trail for the thirst for knowledge, but I also have always had a thirst for knowledge. Mm-hmm. And so for the more esoteric or more deep things, I'm like, well, what do other religions believe? What do other places believe? What does ancient cultures believe? Because as a human or living the human experience, there has to be an essence, a drop of the full truth.
Right.
Like, I mean, we're so inundated with media and TV and podcasts and this and that things get muddled or static away or things like that. And we don't, the essence of truth is more beautiful than that. You think about it, in Pompeii and a couple other ancient civilizations that were buried under ash and sand and soot, there was a person that said, he was here, but he had his name there. And I'm like, how many kids would put that on their books, or how many humans would write on there, like, I was here?
Right.
And I guess death also gives you a point of wanting to have a legacy.
Yeah.
And that put me on the path of, how would I leave a legacy? Mm-hmm. I have no kids, and not that I don't want kids, but I have no kids. And so I'm like, how do I want to leave a legacy? How do I want to share my life? What do I want to get out of this journey? I want to be able to go when I on my deathbed and say, I used up every single ounce of my body, mind, and soul, and I learned everything I could, and I feel satisfied with this ending. And I don't think I would feel satisfied unless I learned as much as I could and shared as much as I could and leave some kind of legacy. And I also believe that people are always tell you, oh, you're going to have to get hard skin if you live in Florida. And I just, to my heart of heart, I don't think you have to. I think you can still do it with kindness and compassion and let people be. Sometimes people have rough times. Some people just want to be angry, and you got to let them.
Yes, you do. I agree with that. But I'm glad that you use the example of wanting to leave a legacy, because now that just brings me right to the song that we played.
Yes.
Right when we came on, I played Beyonce. I Was Here.
Mm-hmm.
If you know who Beyonce is, then you know. But I was at home and I was like, what would be, because I never played music. Right?
Okay.
I used to when I first started my podcast. I used to play music all the time when I would come on, and I stopped because I was like, I don't know if it's conducive to getting everything started or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I was thinking about you today at home, wrongly, obviously, because I thought you were born in South Carolina.
My past life. That's what happened.
Yeah.
That was my past life.
I was like, shoot. I just know I've heard Carolina before. Yeah. And then I was sitting there and I was like, what is a song that would fit the aesthetic of Karrish? And so to play it and to, okay, anyways, guys, she has cats. And I have squirrel brain, so excuse me, I'm going to stay trained and focused. But when you just said that, I felt like it just really brought it full circle for me, for what I had.
That's why I said I love that song, and I was actually thinking about the guy from Pompeii, and I was like, how human is it? It's so simple and said so true. Is I was here, and that's that's what I want to do. Is I want to have some kind of legacy to say I was here.
Yeah, I tell people all the time that the best way to become immortal is to keep people talking about you.
Hell yeah.
So if you can carry my legacy on, because you say you can't have children.
Yeah.
And if a person can carry, I want to eat that cookie so bad, but I just don't know.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I was sitting here thinking like,
well, so when I start talking, you can eat the
I'ma
cookie.
eat the cookie.
So
Don't
give me
worry.
a good hard question, and then I'll start talking, and you can eat the cookie.
I will give you a good hard question.
Okay.
What advice would you give to someone who is struggling to find their true path?
Oh yeah. Okay, so what advice would I give to someone who's struggling to find their true path? It's not gonna be right regardless of how many times you try. Like, I'm still trying to find the path that I belong on. I know that there are I get certain pings of knowing that I'm in the right direction. Certain sequences or certain synchronicities that come up for me. Yeah. And I think the synchronicities will be like, yeah, you're on the right path here. Or like I'll have I call it the tugging of my heart. And I'm like, if you feel that tugging, then you might be on the right path. And if you trust your gut and your instinct. But I will say this, there are certain lessons that we have to learn. And so not everything's going to be sunshine and Cheerios. Sometimes it's going to be rainstorms, and sometimes it's going to be heartache. And those lessons are just as important as the sunshine and rainbows. And I guess, on your path, when you're looking for it, if you appreciate, not everybody's me. Everybody has their own journey to learn. But I will say that I feel most happy when I enjoy the simple pleasures in life. Like when I have... I love thunderstorms, actually.
I do too. I promise I do.
I love thunderstorms, and I like listening to the rain, and I like small comforts, and I like the simple pleasures. I also, and I can't help myself, I love being able to help somebody and try to be secretive about it, although I'm terrible at being secretive about it. And I like trying to make somebody's day secretive or do like a random act of kindness. And I know they're like, oh, it's so cliche. I understand, but I really do like doing something small to help others, to make them smile, because I feel like that's where, if we go back to the last question, that's how I'm going to leave a legacy. And if you're looking to find your path, maybe try different things. Maybe try to meditate. Maybe try to do small random acts of kindness. Maybe just be an ear to listen, or maybe try to learn how to, what they call active listening, or listening without judgment. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people just need a friend. Yeah. Some people, somebody that you wouldn't be normally talking to. You want to come up here?
Stop it.
She sure did. She was like, I want to be in the podcast.
Let me see what she's about to do. But
I don't want her on my...
I feel you.
If she comes here, I don't want her to get into stuff. I guess... I want to say follow your heart, but that's, sometimes it's going to be... Life is full of being bored. Life is full of being angry. Life is full of that. Mm-hmm. But if you can find something that makes you happy... And I know, I like learning, and I like making costumes, and I like making friends and talking about off the wall stuff and having deep, long conversations. And yes. I feel like if you find your tribe and you find the people, then you can have those. And if you don't, then you have to be the person to make that happen.
Absolutely.
And that's unfortunate, is that a lot of people forget that maybe it's a lesson they have to learn, is they have to go out and be the person that they want to be, they want to see.
Mm-hmm. So to go and gain experience, to go and live a life, because you can. I feel like this is what I tell my mama all the time. Mm-hmm. So she is 60, right? And I told her, I was like, Ma, you're boring. I've been telling her, like, girl, you were boring. And she was like, what do you mean I'm boring? I said, Ma, it's okay to go and do your job, to do all of these things, and to build your business, but to have nothing left for yourself at the end of the day. What are we truly accomplishing? What are we truly getting done? Are you really living for yourself, or are you just living to keep up the materialistic,
like a facade type situation?
Yeah, because when I think of, I don't think it's a facade. We really gotta live. I gotta pay the rent. I gotta pay and so that consumes a lot of her time.
It consumes a lot of my time too.
Especially in this day and age, because of inflation, because of all the things that we are going through right now.
But that's good to know. Yeah.
How do you find inspiration?
Oh, dreams. 100% dreams. Like
just like all the time.
I dream so vividly, and it's hard for me to explain because I feel like a puppy. I feel like a Great Dane that's like feels like it's a lap dog. Because I think everybody has the same mentality as me. I think everybody has the same ability as me, and I have these extremely vivid dreams, and a lot of times, I mean, not only dreams, but I will say nature also helps. But I've learned how to make. I wanted to do the dinosaur costume. I wanted to do the advent calendar. One year I was a spider. The costuming, but well, also I will say that my inspiration is also my lovely spouse.
Absolutely, yes,
because he also is my wisdom. Like he also gives me insight of being the reality of situation, and I appreciate that because I'm like, oh well, I want to go do this, and everything's going to be big, and he's like, okay, that's good, but here's the A, B, and C. So he helps me. Like I even made that clock. I don't know if you know.
Yes, I did. When I came over here last time, I was like, oh, let's give me cuckoo clock.
Yeah, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay,
cuckoo clock.
It's really like I don't know if that's German. Or
it is German. Yeah.
Okay, so
and I wanted to make it, and I put my mind to it, and like that's it. I will say this: that once I'm inspired and I put my mind to something, I am like a horse with blinders. I will not stop until it's done. Same thing with the dinosaur. Yeah. I will just keep going until it's finished because I'm in that focus mode. But it's almost like pulling teeth sometimes to get into that mode.
Absolutely.
Almost, and like I said, that's why I said I'm inspired by dreams. I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, okay, let's do it.
See, and I can't. I've told you this before. I don't dream often. So my inspiration comes from people, and so I find myself often. A lot of people always tell me like, when I post things, they'll be like, "Oh my God, this is so good," and I'll be like, But one thing I feel like people don't always understand is my inspiration came from you. My inspiration came from your life. My inspiration came from the story that you shared, the way you opened yourself up to me. So that's why I've always been so appreciative of you because it's the truth that you give, the just reflection, being you, right? Yes. So it's the authenticity of who you are, and I'm
that
always
makes me so happy. It's almost like the reflections of people back at you, and it's funny that you say that. I will say, as a kid, one thing is I'd always see when like I don't mind you, I was a PBS kid, so I was like the old school like free cable and stuff like that. I would always see on the TV, PBS, they always had that homework helpline, and I would say the very next week, that's what we were learning in school, and I always felt like I was a psychic because I would learn that I would watch. I mean, that's how big of a nerd I was. I'd watch the homework help, or I'd read those old school books that your grandparents and parents had, and then I'd be like, "Oh, I know this."
Yes, but that was me. It was. I'm gonna say this, like, and I've always felt like we had a lot in common, right? So, hey, Mama, how you doing? So. But one thing I'll say is like we've always had a lot in common. This is the tall one. This is the tall, like Karrish. But that's not what we call her. That's not what I call you at home. But what was that?
Your reflections of people that come back at you, and that's how you get your inspiration.
That is how I gain my inspiration. I don't know where I was going with that. My mama threw me off track.
It's okay. Hi, Mama. We love you.
Okay, thank you for joining. I didn't want to miss saying hi, but I should have let it go. So, even in meeting you, I felt like we had a lot in common. I like the way that you are able to convey the knowledge that you have, how you put it together. And I mean, you got knowledge about just random shit. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, girl, what? But I'm happy because like I think it was a person who said that every time an old person dies, that's a library that just burnt down. And so to be
100%,
exactly
the most expensive place in this whole planet is the graveyard.
Absolutely,
because all the ideas died with them, all the things that they were afraid to share if they worked themselves to where they couldn't share their ideas or learn their passions. And yeah, that you're right, absolutely. The graveyard is the essential number one lost thing, and that's why when I leave, I want to be able to verbally get out everything I need to say and share and learn. as best I can, so that I know that I can help others and help them learn and help them grow. We're consensual, of
Right,
course,
right, right, right,
because I'm not gonna throw knowledge on somebody who doesn't want it.
I will. I'm not. I
You're
am
the true
not
fan.
nice
You're the
at
true-
all. Like, what you mean? No, that's stupid. Are you not seeing what I'm seeing? I'm learning to like dial myself back, and that's
Don't.
it. Really, don't do it. I'm
No, because here's the thing. I appreciate what they call the strong friend, or somebody that's not is going to tell you like it is, because sometimes you lie to yourself, and so if you have the friend that doesn't lie to you and the friend that doesn't if you have somebody who dials them back, they're not going to be telling you, oh, you got something in your teeth, or hey, your zipper's down, or hey, yo,
do that.
hey, yo, but you would also do it with kindness, and like pull me aside, hey, yo, your zipper's down, or hey, yo, that wasn't very polite what you said, what's going on, where you at, right? But you would do it in a way, or I feel like you convey it. You've always conveyed it in a way to say, "Hey, let me just see what's going on." You always, investigate before coming to a critical judgment, and I appreciate that about you, because that's what I see. And I was like, "Don't dial it back."
I say that in the sense of like, not to dial back the truth,
right,
but to kind of pull back on who I choose to share the truth with, basically. Okay. So like, more so dial it back in the sense of everybody can't digest me. But the way I've always felt is choke. Yep. Like,
so it's like the box we talked about. So like the knowledge is the box, and once the box is open, you can't put it back in there. You know how many times have you tried to put a TV back in a box that it's already hard. It's hard.
Not even an airbag.
Oh my gosh, that's the most difficult. I throw away the box because it's just not even worth it.
What we doing?
Or the fitted sheet.
Okay, I can't fold that today in my life. What you mean, like folded sheet? A fitted sheet?
No, that's some witchcraft.
I just do it like this. Just do it like this, and we throw it in the closet after a little while. It's like, it'll be good.
The fitted sheet and the air mattress are both folded the exact same way.
Yes, and I'll be looking like, who y'all thought, who you think I am? Superman, bitch? That's not me. We'll have to try again. No, but
but yeah, I see you're more selective, not necessarily dying, but you're more selective in who you share the truth, because if they're not ready, it's not worth it.
It's not ready. I done got into my fair share of tips, debates.
No, yeah.
Like, listen, a word they call me combative. and you know what? I'm okay with the title of being combative, because I do understand that I can come off that way. Mm-hmm. I can most certainly come off that way, especially if I think you're wrong. Mm-hmm. Oh, baby, what?
Well, I feel like the Four Agreements, if they're taking it personally, then that might be I love that book, The Four Agreements.
Oh my God. Yes.
So I'm like, I will say that I like the book, and I will say that I don't follow the book all the time, because sometimes I'll do my best, and there was you do your best, you take integrity, don't take anything personally. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I get in my feelings and I'll take everything personally, and I'm like, I'll feel petty, and I'll have all these scenarios in my mind and be like, wow, she's just going to have to choke on my intelligence.
Hello. And I'm that person. I'm the one that's like, wake up, girl. What you mean? What you playing small for? We bigger than this.
Yeah, come on. Let's
stand up.
And the thing is I think people, you see all these podcasts and these peoples and YouTube videos and stuff like that, and you'll see them have these negative imaginations, and it's okay to have negative simulation imagination, but you should allow it to come in, pass, feel it, and then let it pass, because then it helps you to think more clearly, and it helps you to have a more concise conversation. Or if you meet the person again and you're combative, now you're calm and you're not going to let it rise above you. I mean, we always have to let things. We don't always have to let things pass, but I'm just saying, sometimes you like to use those negative. People dwell on negative emotions, and that's when it's really bad. But if you utilize it as a strength and say, okay, I've seen all these scenarios, but the best scenario is to either let it go, let it be, or if I want to face this person, I'm cutting them off.
Yeah. I want to delve into you growing up.
Yeah.
How was it that? How did you grow up religiously in Christianity? Like, what was your denomination growing up?
So when I was growing up, my grandma would always take me to church on Sundays when we would stay with her, and she would have the Baptist church, and but my grandma was really fun. So there was a little hump before the church, so she would do like one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready, and she'd go over the hump and that's why I was like roller coasters now because of her.
Okay, that's nice.
So she would take me to church, and there was like the vacation Bible school, and the thing is, culturally, the church was like the mainstay of the towns. Mm-hmm. And so like where she lived, her church was different. But as I got into a teenager, I loved the girls who looked so cool in their blue jean long skirts and the long hair, and that was Pentecostal.
You did?
Yeah.
You liked us?
Oh,
No.
I did. Well, here's the thing. I had no idea about, like, I guess I would call it adult church, because I've only seen it from Sunday school side up to teenager youth group side. I've never seen it because a lot of things I would get to attend was because of youth group. Yeah. Because I would have never been able to go to the movies. I would have never been able. Not that my parents didn't take me things. It's just they were not as rich, so that they were working just to keep us alive and make sure we had food on the table and stuff like that. So a lot of these like trips I would get to go roller skating. The movies, I got to learn how to about like rocks and stuff because the church would take us on trips, and so the church would try to gain youthful followers, youthful people, by giving them activities and I guess extracurricular things to what's the word? They would just give me opportunities to learn, and that's actually kind of funny because that's where I got to learn a lot of things. Okay. I got to learn how to roller skate. I got to learn about the flume and dinosaur bones and stuff like that because they would take us to like Grand Organ Caves and things like that. But now, I was this kid who wanted to be different every place I went. Yeah. So like when I was younger, I would go to church with my grandma. When I was a teenager, I went to church, like I said, with the Pentecostal girls because I thought they were just hot to trot. They were so beautiful. They had the longest hair. They had those skirts. Everything was like, and the thing is they weren't popular. But the one thing I did appreciate about them is that they were non-judgmental. They would invite me there, but it's more like, hey, we're going here this Sunday. You want to come with me? It wasn't like we're going to church. It was like, hey, we're going here this Sunday. You want to come with me? And they're like, oh, we have, they were so much my friends. They're like, oh, we have these lovely skirts. You know what? I have one that would fit you. And it was a place where I fit in at that time. Mm-hmm. And it was also a place in which I was able to do a lot of activities that I would have normally never been able to do. So I think religiously, I paid attention to like the moral codes and stuff like that. There was a couple things that I did and I didn't realize I passed. There was did I tell you about this? Mm-hmm. So in Sunday, it was a teen youth group Sunday school, and the persons, and I guess they were talking about faith, and they were talking about a person who has faith, and they said, okay, if you go out this door, your face is going to get marked up with red paint, and I was like, okay. And they're like, are you sure? And I was like, and nobody else wanted to do it because they said their grandmas were going to be upset with them and stuff like that. I said, no, I'm going to go out there. So I go out to the outside, and I got no paint on my face. I come back, they gave me $1.
Yeah. Okay, but that's how faith works. I understand the analogy. That's I get what they were doing.
But it was just kind of funny. They're like, where's the red stuff? Where's your thing? And I was like, I didn't get any red stuff on my face. And they're like,
because people will tell you lies about what you're walking into. But it's got to be up to you to be able to understand, like, no, this is what we said we had to do. Or this is what, even though, so that's what faith is. It's invisible to everybody else. But you got the vision plain.
Yeah.
You feel me? You just got to walk through.
You got to walk through.
Hey,
I love it. And I think it's funny because, like, I appreciate my upbringing and I appreciate what the church has taught me and what the churches have taught me because, like I said, as a kid, I was also trying to search for something that fit with me because I was like so enamored. Even as a kid, I was so enamored about learning about different peoples and religions and things like that. Now, mind you, this is how country I am. I wanted to go to a Catholic church because I had never been to a Catholic church. Now, mind you, this is how country we are. You had Methodist, you had Baptist, you had Presbyterian, and you had Pentecostal. That's it. You had nothing else. And like, I didn't know about Judaism. I had no idea. Like, as I got into college, that's when I started to learn more about different other religions. But
opening you up, it's a whole other environment, and you meet tons of different people in college.
And I think from before college, I was just trying to learn as much as I could. And so, like, I would do like these, what is the quiz bowls and the Golden Horseshoe, which is a West Virginia studies type situation. And I think that's what also, if you're going to go back to my other part, is also what got me into like learning all random facts. Like, you know, Mother's Day was invented in West Virginia.
Oh, you did tell me that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that. See, she done taught me a lot. I've had so many conversations with her about just random things, and just even she has this poster.
Yeah.
It has like all types of archaeological like fossils on them and different things like that. It talks about how the water, what the ocean used to look like, how it has depleted, and all these types of things. So like I say, I always know that you're like just really, really knowledgeable on a lot of things.
You can literally pull the book of Dictionary of Mythology right there.
I definitely can. And I will. But there you go. Sorry. No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Sorry.
Don't worry. It's okay. It's like going for a fine. But yeah, so now can you walk me through the coming from religion into spirituality? Like, how was that for you?
Oh, okay. So there's a couple things that never made sense to me via Christianity. Like, obviously, when you're doing me to. Oh yeah.
Open this now?
Yeah, you can.
Is it like deep enough?
Oh no, drink some more.
Okay.
Going from religion to like spirituality, there was a lot of things that didn't make sense to me. Or didn't make a lot of sense to me, like Easter. Okay, like I know that the bunny doesn't make sense to me about the resurrection. Like, you know, I feel like the resurrection is very reverent, but then you have the traditions of the Easter bunny and hiding Easter eggs and things like that. And on my journey from like even a young adulthood, I found like in Judaism, there's a thing called hiding the afikomen, which happens around Passover, which is roughly around the same time of Easter. It's not always the same time, but I'm like, they hide the afikomen and it's only for kids. And I was like, oh, so there's a little bit of assimilation. Oh, that makes sense. Well, where did the rabbit come from? Well, in Germany, there is a goddess that I guess people would call them barbarians, that would used to worship, was a goddess of the hare or the goddess of the bunny.
Okay.
And there's a couple different factions. Now, mind you, a lot of people have contentions, but the basic story is the goddess was a bunny, and her name was Estore. Now, there's different stories. I'm just going to give you the one I have. I know that there are different facets of the same story, but basically, she fell in love with like a goose, and basically that's how the bunny was able to lay eggs. It was a relationship between the goose and the bunny. But it was just funny. I was like, how did that get into Christianity? And how did that, you know, we were talking about getting into spirituality. Well, the essence of the truth is a lot of conversion from the Christians into other religions and other pagans and things like that. And I felt like, again, I guess it goes all the way back down to death. I also, in my heart of hearts, I've had so many dreams about like being reincarnated as another person. So I think a reincarnation was something that spoke to me or felt very close.
Okay.
Something that felt very natural to me. So I think that's what also drove me to like, well, let me find out about this, because there's so many I'm driving my husband crazy about watching all these videos about kids reincarnating, and it's not just like American kids or British kids, but people from Africa and India and Australia, and they have people called dream walkers. And I was like, oh, those people are like me. They have extended dreams and they have this, and I'm like, oh, okay, well that speaks more to me than the. I mean, I'm not saying that there's nothing like if you're a Christian and that's beautiful, that resonates with you, and I appreciate that. But I think for me, spirituality resonates more with me because I have the ideas of reincarnation, and then I also believe truth is the highest power.
Absolutely.
So
I'm with you 1,000%.
And what I mean by that is, if something was refuted, like the story of the Easter and how like that made sense to me, I'm like, oh, we assimilated, we were. There's people who were converted. There was things that stayed because they had to convert certain people, and because of that, and they stayed. they still kept the traditions, which is still lovely because that's an evolution that because I can explain to you that I know that, I mean, I don't know anything, but I feel like Christianity from like the BCs to now has drastically changed. Like what we would have considered Christianity back then was probably very more like spirituality now.
Right. And my mom, I always talk about my mom. My mom, she had stated that I think that like the day before yesterday, we were walking in the house, and she had said, "Where did Christianity even come from?" She said, "It's not even mentioned in the Bible." And I'm thinking to myself, like, yes, these are the right questions. Like, these are the things. Jesus did not practice Christianity. That nigga that man practiced he said, "I came in the name of my father. I preach what my father is preaching." So where we get it from is beyond me, but it's something that this is what I always say about religion. We would have been stupid not to capitalize on God, because look how much money it's made.
Well, I will say this: it has made a lot of money, and I will say that it had been used for not the people. However, people would have not. The reason we were able to read today is because of the church. So I would give it.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Well, I can't say that for Black people.
No, you're right. Oh my God, I didn't even think.
We was left out. They only read us verse Ephesians 5-6 slaves. Obey your master.
Oh my God,
they didn't want us to know.
You're right.
We were really, but I think that goes to something that you always say about acknowledging your privilege, even though you grew up underprivileged. I do
100%.
I always appreciate that you say that,
because I 100% yes.
There is an acknowledge. I like your awareness. You always have like this keen awareness of your upbringing and just the
like a social standing where everything
you. And I love that. So
well, I would say in Europe, because I know that the reason why I'm even bringing this up is the reason why people could only read because of the church. And then again, that was in Europe, not here. We're being bitches and hurting people.
Absolutely.
And we're not being nice to people.
Yeah.
In the church, the only place that people could actually read were the priest, and they were given a thing called a receipt. And the thing is, it's not what we would have as a receipt today. So it gets crazy, but basically the only store that was allowed to be open was the stationery store, and the only people who could read and write were the priests.
Okay.
And when like you talk about breaking a mirror and having 7 years bad luck, all goes back to the church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it goes like this. So you have people set up all their shops, right? And they have their shops are just these benches, and they call them bancos. Okay. And you have all these shops, and the only people who at the end of the day, the church will go and take their tithes from all these shops. And if you didn't have the money or you didn't give them any money, the church would break your banco or your thing, and it would be ruptus. So bankrupt is where this came from. Now, the only thing that was allowed to be open on Sundays was the stationery store. That's where we get the word stationery for paper, and stationery because it's it's the only place that's open, that stays open.
I got you.
And they would only be able to read and write, and so a lot of people would break mirrors and stay in 7 years in the church to learn how to read and write.
Oh, wow.
Because they were too poor, they couldn't read and write, so the only people who would learn how to read and write were the people of the church at that time in medieval Europe. Because most people, I mean, nobody really knew how to read and write except for the people in the church.
So how did your religion turning into spirituality turn into divination?
Oh, okay. So I have a double-edged sword in my brain with this.
Okay.
So you have your spirituality, and you learn about these different ways of, I guess, telling the truth or finding the truth and things like that. And sometimes the truth is not found in a book. Sometimes it's found by sitting quietly and meditating. And sometimes it's found in numbers or synchronicities. And I would say, well, why would this always happen to me? Or why do I always feel best when I wake up at 6:48? Or why does this always come up? And I'm like, maybe somebody's trying to tell me something. So a lot of it was like maybe somebody from my past, or maybe somebody from a past loved one is trying to tell me something.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, how do I listen to this? How do I tap into these synchronicities because, again, I'm a person of truth. I want to know the most essence point of truth. I want to know, I guess, the divination, or I love learning about. I guess it's hard to explain, but I like learning about the esoteric arts because it's something that is still unknown. Mm-hmm. And again, I like to always do better than I did before. Learning something unknown is like the actor, the ham, the loving person of me wants to know the unknown, the secrets, because secrets hurt everyone, and so I want to know these secrets.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
So I feel like it feels selfish to me. I think that's the other thing is like I feel selfish because I want to learn things to help others, but in the same respect, I want to know all the secrets, and so I feel like I like the divination because I have had so many people tell me that I've come up with like truthful things, like they see that, but then I've also took it with a grain of salt because I know not everything. Well, I also believe in different paths of was it the average theory of everything. So like there's a version of Elizabeth or Karrish.
Yeah, no, it was you. It wasn't me.
See,
yes,
another one.
It's okay because I thought it was gonna be me.
No.
I was wrong about where you was born, but I ain't got your name wrong. And I was really worried about that because I was like, because I had told you I really wanted to play into the artist of you. I wanted to play into, but I know that as an artist, as a human, those tendencies have those
100%.
The lines blur. That's what I'm trying to
100%.
Say. Fool me can't get fooled again. But Trinae has been commenting a lot. I know, and she's saying your secrets are safe for her. There's a beauty in the unknown. Don't be worried, baby. And yes, honey, we is artists just like you. Love. Fuck you talking about. You know what it is. So let's ask you, like, which was one of the divinations that you leaned to first?
First. Probably tasseomancy, which is the tea leaf reading.
Okay.
And I liked it. Well, I will say this. The first is when I was a little kid. I liked looking at clouds. Yeah, that's good. You can probably have a little bit. Just you can do it. First, so there's a thing that's like tasseomancy, which is tea leaf reading, is the cloud. They call it cloud divination. And when you're a kid, you lay in the grass and you look at the clouds and you see all these different shapes and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's funny because I feel like that's when it first started, is seeing the shapes and seeing like the synchronicities. I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that in the clouds. And the next day we went to the zoo and I saw elephants. I saw an elephant in the sky, and the next day we saw elephants at the zoo, and that was the first animal we saw. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I guess like seeing shapes or like letting your eyes like relax and seeing shapes has like, and then I'm like, oh, well, I see that. And then I just let it pass. And sometimes when I'm like, I call it the hypothetical, when I'm like, I let it pass, it sometimes is when I'll see it again. I make note of it, but then I let it pass and I see it again.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did swallow that tea. It is really good. So it's a
which one is it? I think it's right
there. It's the rose. Yes, I put a rose fig in there, and then I also there's another one in here.
Was it the amaretto chocolate?
It was in the can.
Oh, okay. A lily?
Emerald.
Emerald lily, yeah.
Yes, it's an emerald, and it's so good. The tea it was really good. It was really like,
and I still taste the tea.
It. Yes, like you can really taste it. Like, you know how so this is why I'm not a fan of tea bags, right? Mm-hmm. So when I started drinking loose leaf tea, it was simply because I was looking for something way stronger than 10 tea bags. I didn't want to have to dip 10 tea bags and be like, I need strong tea.
I have to agree with you. And then somebody told me, somebody said that from Britain, that their teas are stronger than American teas because they use full leaf, where American teas unfortunately use the bottom of the barrel, and they cut it up, and so it keeps getting smaller and smaller. Oh. And so the full leaf gives you a little bit more of the full flavor.
See, and weed, that's what they would be selling you to shake.
Right.
I don't want the shake, love. No, as long as I tell myself I'm not a fan of tea bags. No, love, I'm not a fan of tea bags. You're not dipping anything in my mouth. First of all, no, I'm just how about tea bagging is the best. How about what does it do? Will it make my coochie throb? It will. I promise. It's certain things that you could, like certain teas that you could drink that's good for your
libido. Absolutely.
Absolutely. What she's saying. This is for her, y'all. Let me shut the fuck up.
Well,
But
I like tea as well, and the thing is the one thing I learned about when I was doing learning about tea, tasseomancy, is that tea is all the same plant. This is all the same plant.
she said, can you name one that's good for a high libido?
High libido. Well, there are some good teas. I will say that you would stick to like the vanillas, the lavenders, the more sensual rose herb teas.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the rose is actually
rose
good.
Is really good. Actually,
yeah.
I do know. No,
I was like, rose is typically good. But
talk
you have
about my man. Get out the comments. Get your ass out the comments. Get out the comments. But yes, no. But Rose, she stayed in. I'm sorry.
No. Rose, because I'm trying to think more. I don't know too many for male. I know for female mostly, and so like a lot of flowers. There is an incense called Damiana, but I'm trying to think if you can drink it as a tea, and I don't think you can. There's Angelica, which I think is also. Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not poisoning anybody.
Yeah. No, I totally understand.
But a lot
snake oil good for I don't know if you want to drink that, but snake oil good for keeping you.
Well, you'd have to dry the rose.
Yeah, he talking about she said her rose died last night.
Oh my God! I took the wrong. I'm so sorry. I got the wrong.
Yeah, her rose died last night. I gotta charge you. You need to charge your rose, love.
I took it innocently. I'm like, oh, her rose died. Well, she'll have to dry it.
Come on, but she gonna have to know.
I got the wrong rose.
Her rose died. It died. Put it on the charger, love. It's a good rose. Now, what I need to do.
Okay, so you're going to open it up, and you're going to just let all the contents fall into the bottom of that.
Oh, just open it up like bam, like.
Yep, just let it fall in there. Yep.
Okay.
And you can set that on the towel if you need to. And then you can take one of those towels and put it on the plate. You don't have to. You can if you want. I'm going to wash the plate regardless. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then you swirl around. Give it a nice swirl. Give me your intentions. What are you looking to have answered? What are you looking for? What are you searching for?
We're gonna stop talking to you. Talking about your man got a snake. Okay. Where your OnlyFans at, love? Tell me. I want to support you and your man. Okay, baby, because you know I'm from the hood. I want something good. And then I do.
You're gonna turn it over onto the plate. And you're going to tap 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then you can hand me the cup. Okay. And I'm going to draw out a little bit if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all.
And you're going to have to ask me some questions while I'm drawing, and I'll let you know what I'm seeing. First thing I see is a big rimmed brown hat.
You see a brown hat?
Right here down at the bottom. It's a big rimmed hat. Mm-hmm. Right here.
Yes.
And I see a shaft.
A shaft.
Look,
that means my man got big cocky.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you want me to show the group?
Yeah, no, you can show them. You put that in the camera and they can see that. Yes, you can absolutely show them.
There you go.
Y'all should be able to see the bottom of that cup.
And you got the hat.
Trinae said, "OMG, I saw blessings flowing after that."
Well, I mean,
thank you. I received that.
I mean,
Oh, you didn't show us this.
Oh, okay. Well,
you're pulling out stuff and not showing people.
This is
her art.
I got some drawings here.
Can we see that? I just hate that light is so terrible.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Let me move some.
I got some studs, right? Yeah. This is actually from the dream that I had. This was from the one from Germany that I was trying to do it from a first person's perspective because that's what the house looked like and everything.
So how the book should be really
This was from another dream.
I didn't see this one.
That's okay. This is you're up on a pavilion and there's trees growing out of it and there's ruins here. Looks like they're breaching.
There's a place, and it's a real place,
right?
And it has a tree stands in it's erect in the courtyard. Yeah, and it's just a bunch of I forget where it is. But it looks like that? Like this. When I find it, I'm going to send it to you.
Shall I show the group?
Yes. But there's the, oh yeah, we can see it good. Talking about what did you dream about me? What do you see in my future? You gonna have to drink some tea, and then that's how she's gonna have to tell you. So, and that's what I want to ask. Like, as you draw, so like, for tea, where did tea leaf reading originate? What is it for? Like all of those things.
So technically, it actually originated in Turkey. Okay, and it was not necessarily tea; it was coffee.
Okay.
Because people would read the grounds, because the way the coffee's made, the grounds sink to the bottom and the coffee sinks to the top, and then most people would drink the coffee up to a certain point, and then they would swish around. And so we're going to say Egyptians and Turkish brought it over, but a lot of people call them gypsies now. Mm-hmm. And so basically through several like generations, people just went calling from Egyptian Turkish to calling them gypsies.
Okay.
And so a lot of the, again, like you talk about like different stories that basically went down to its essence, and they assimilated different traditions and things like that. That's what happened. And so in medieval Europe, when the Turkish and the Gypsies came to Europe, they brought their reading of sediment, to say the least, mm-hmm. and they brought it over to Europe, and Europe didn't have that. They had teas and stuff, and a lot of teas came from China as well. So there is a version of tea leaf reading in China as well. So it originated in a couple different places.
Yes, I read that. You
did some research.
I did some research. I'm always, I should have researched your birthplace. No,
that's okay. No, I think this is better. But yeah, it came from a couple different places. So the first place I learned about it was from Turkey, the Turkish area, mm-hmm. for the coffee.
Middle East is what they had. Yeah. Is what I had read. It was like Middle Eastern.
And then China, because the high tea import came from there. Mm-hmm. It's because the tea ceremonies are very intense. So like you have tea ceremonies from China, Korea, and Japan, and their tea ceremonies are very, in essence, it's almost like a spiritual experience, because they have a lot of reverence for food that's happening. Because a lot of people will talk about like food that they eat, and they say it tastes better when you pray over it, or when you make it a point of having you consciously drinking or eating. And I think if you're going to talk about nowadays, that's what most people will try to make it, is more of a reverence. I'm consciously drinking. I'm consciously looking at this. I'm consciously looking at it. So I'm trying to look for synchronicities. I'm trying to do this.
Yeah.
So but two major places, China and then also the Middle East. And then Europe did, when they got tea, that's when a lot of times, because the gypsies moved to those areas.
Mm-hmm.
And wine sediment too in France.
Okay, wine sediment.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, hi T, you've inspired somebody to get back to drawing as
well.
Yay! Said he never drew from his head though, only pictures.
That's okay.
So he said he wanted to get back to it. So yeah.
Please draw what you feel like you get close to, because sometimes that's how the inspiration happens.
Yeah. I always suggest sitting out in nature.
Mm-hmm.
This just me because I'm big on nature, but like just sitting outside, getting acquainted with all of the things again, looking at the trees. I'm always inspired to draw something different, and not even I don't draw like I used to.
Right.
I'm more right. So even sitting in nature, my best poetry come when I'm sitting outside. Talking about draw big cocky. She got a shaft in there.
I can do it.
She definitely got to draw. Don't worry. It's in there, love. It's in my future.
I will say this. I see a little rat under the hat.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Cedric, you the rat under the hat.
Nah. But I will say that, usually like when you see a rat, somebody's talking about you or somebody that you care about.
Mm.
And to be cognizant of, I would say be cognizant of false friends. Those that will, them, and you have to trust your gut. Mm-hmm. You know them, and it's almost like being hidden under the hat. It's almost like a Ratatouille type situation, but that's a country hat.
I agree. Yeah.
I mean, you see it, right?
Yeah,
like,
I see it there.
And I see a little like bear and eagle right here.
Yes, because I'm Indian.
See?
No, I'm just joking. She's talking to, see? Nah.
But I mean, well, usually, like you have, obviously that the Native Americans do reverence the
bear and the eagle.
Yeah,
wow, they big.
But this eagle is flying very close to landing, so there might be something
some prey down there.
Well, no, but I think with getting close to landing, the way this looks, it looks like you're coming in on something that you're zeroing in on something that you might finally get an answer to that you've been wanting to find out. It's almost like there is an answer that you have not been able to figure out, and the eagle is getting ready to land. Which I know it sounds very, it sounds very shadow, like cloak and dagger. It's very
okay.
But I feel like from what I can feel, like from here, I feel like you're the eagle would does represent like a truth or like a something that you're so close to learning and so close to getting.
Trinae said, I'm about to figure out if that man want me or not.
Oh.
Talking about that's what you seeing in that cup. That's the truth we finna find.
Now the little bear, it looks like a little bear token.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be something like a fierce. Have you heard like the mama bear is going to come out?
Yeah.
Okay. So like whatever truth you're going to find out is going to be a bear hug of truth.
Okay.
So like there might be something you find out, a secret. We're talking all about the secrets, but I'm thinking more of this is more of a I wouldn't say a family secret. This is more of a group of friends type secret because it's a token. It's not necessarily the bear. I feel like this looks more like an actual eagle, and this looks like a token bear, like a little like something you want to keep on your wall because you actually now have the truth. You have the proof. That's what the token is representing, like a proof type of something.
Yeah.
Now I don't know about you. Listen, I can't deny that is a big.
That's a big cocky.
Yeah,
hey, I know what that is. Tarian came from Facebook to tell you, Trinae, that you are out of order and you need to calm the fuck down with your out of order ass. Talking about some we need answers. Y'all don't need no damn answers. She giving them to y'all.
You see the arc right here?
Mm-hmm.
Like a big boat?
Yes. Jonah Ark. I see it.
You see
Noah, send me the animals 2x2 then.
What?
No.
I mean, but it's kind of funny. You have like the hat, you have the life sustaining, you have the boat. You got the cock.
I'm fulfilled.
All right.
All I see over here, except for this little bitch up under my hat trying to get my food. Yes, it's time to arch that back and throw it back. It's starting heat on a Sunday. Talking about the flood I am the flood.
Now, something that you are wanting, like your knowledge is coming to you, but something that you are wanting is taking its sweet ass time. And there is a person that you have to talk to before it will speed up.
Okay.
So this seems like you're gonna have to collaborate with someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about that's them wigs. Time to throw them out. You're the rapture. Talking about Desi, these your answers. LOL. Pay attention. For that man to propose to her, well, he better hurry up and fucking propose. I'm tired of waiting, bitch. It's one knee time right now. She is in love and fighting demons. Baby, I don't fight demons. We get along perfectly fine. Trust me.
You see like it looks like a UFO here, right? Doesn't it?
I'm gonna be abducted by some aliens. I can't wait.
You can't wait.
I hope y'all got good weed. That's all I gotta say to them aliens. Come get me, love. Come get the fuck me.
It almost, like there's so many like different like symbols and symbology. So like I see like the UFO here, and I'm like, what is that? Like you said, talking about abduction, we're joking here, but I feel like there is what?
Some girl a UFO, get her off this line. No, literally, it is like y'all can't see inside the cup, but everything she's pointing out, like. It's in there, I promise.
I'm trying to show you guys.
You see the big cock in there? Do you see it? The light is reflecting.
Yeah, I know. It's so white.
Unfortunately, it's my cup. Them my leaves. It's not for y'all. It's for me. Fall the fuck back. A UFO, bitch. I'm getting abducted. Stop asking questions, ho. I said what the fuck I said, and Big Cocky's gonna be on the UFO. You know what y'all thought? I'm leaving you. I wasn't supposed to be. I'm not from here anyway. That's what this is telling me. That's a pilgrim hat because I pilgrimed here. Fuck. Pilgrim back.
You're like a starseed child.
Yes.
Starseed.
I was planted. Y'all be talking about plants. I'm a plant. I was planted here to help y'all understand some shit.
Well, that's where I was getting at is usually you have the knowledge of the space, stars, and skies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually, like when you do see things that are out of this world, it's usually a knowledge that is not necessarily of this time. You know, like not necessarily. You're going to have knowledge that's going to be given to you that may be from a meditation or from a reflection that you may receive from another person.
Y'all heard that? I'm chosen. No.
I can't refute that.
Talk about the mothership coming to take you. Baby, I can't wait. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm standing on the mountain. Put me on the mountain where Moses was, cause baby, take me today. I've been ready to go since I was 3.
They want to catch a ride.
Okay, baby, come on, I'll be pulling up on you. Beep beep. You know they horn not gonna sound like that. It's gonna sound a little different. Okay. It's gonna have to play a little. It's gonna be a little different, but we coming. I'm definitely gonna be off shrooms when baby. Let me tell you.
You read your plate.
Oh, baby. I have a dream, love. I definitely got a dream. And Dr. King, I don't know if you'll be able to. I done folded it up and wrapped it up.
That's fine. You're putting your intentions in that.
Oh, that's what me doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what me doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know.
Ooh. Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's good?
Yeah.
Here go my cup, love.
There you go. Let's see what we got here. See, this is where we get playing in the dirt helps me out.
Playing in the dirt. Mm-mm. Not the plate, love. Yes, you got to make sure you lick it clean, love.
Mm-hmm. You can't just read the cup.
Talk about ain't shit in that little cup, and she's sipping away. Mm-hmm. It is something in that cup. You a hater, bitch.
You want to look at this cup?
Okay. It's what you talking about. Well, it ain't nothing in there now.
Okay, so I see a flower here.
I'm blooming.
Yep, you're growing. And then I see a pair of lips here. So you can
I'm kissing on somebody.
Yep.
Cocky lips. Hey, we finna fuck.
Right. You're going to get the full shebang. You get the 9 yards.
We in there. Big time. I'm going to put this right here.
Okay, take your little Loch Ness monster.
Yes,
isn't he adorable?
Yes, that's exactly why I picked it. So I'm going to tell y'all like how this works. So usually she asked me if I wanted my water heated in an electric kettle or if we wanted it to heat it up on the stove. Mm-hmm. What she told me was basically that those capture different intentions. Then she had me pick out my cup. She also had me pick out the steeper that I would like to use for my tea. So all of these are part of her reading the tea leaves and different things like that. So everything that, and did I tell you I picked out my cup too? Mm-hmm. Okay. So then I love y'all too, love. I love all of y'all. Oh, ain't she the best? Okay. I think they talking about you.
Oh, okay. I love y'all too.
I'm not sure what y'all talking about. Talking about I love her. Yes. It's gotta be you. Yes. But I love her too, y'all. I promise. I don't know who y'all talking about, but y'all should be talking about her because she like fucking awesome. I've been enamored with her since I met her. I didn't but Trinae, I fuck with you too. And Tari, you already know I fuck with you. But however, so then after I picked out all of those things, then I picked out my tea.
Yep.
So that's the emeralds and the rose fig, and I put them inside of the cup all myself, and then she just poured my water over it, and then that's what we have.
And you also choose if you want a sweetener or no sweetener as well.
And I ain't put no sweetener in it. I like tea. I want to taste the earth in my shit. I put honey in it sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the last time we did it,
we did honey in it. Yeah.
Yeah. And
so I ask you if you want sweetener because that also will play into the reading because it also affects how like everything happens. Like a lot of it, you have like the symbols that you're trying to convey and what are the people or the ancestors, spirits, or whoever you believe is trying, and then another half of it is almost like a psychology type situation. Mm-hmm. So you're also reading a person's body and thing. And that's where I say that with me, divination is half reading a person and half reading the spiritual realm. Because you can't have one without the other. So a person says, oh no, I get my information all from spirit. That is not true because when you go to some of these cold readings, a lot of these people are reading the person.
Exactly.
And sometimes they're also reading like Facebook pages and trying to figure,
No, they said that's the comment. They said, yes, she's so dope. So
hell yeah.
And I'm gonna have to take you up on the cock that lips in the hat. No,
I mean, you got the whole shebang.
You talking about I have cock, lips, and a hat. I'm like, bro, okay.
And you got the mysterious person here too. So
Yeah,
after the turtle, so
you the mysterious person I need to talk to get this shit coming in. You need to call me, nigga. Call me. Call the fuck. Call me now because I'm tired of waiting for you. Call me, baby. Call me. I'm tired of waiting. Me don't want no broke pocket boy. Me want a rich pocket boy because broke pocket boy can go one side. Bring that shit up over here. No, I'm just. But so yes, I have appreciated you.
Thank you.
And y'all, we gonna finish this because I'm with her.
Hey.
And I appreciate you for coming on. I appreciate you for sharing your knowledge with us, for giving me the opportunity. She did find a lot of things in my cup, you guys. I hope you all were paying attention. She did have other things set up here. So before we leave, I do want her to go over the different divinations. I want her to tell y'all how to make the goddess water, what feathers and things. And we set all this shit out here
To show you.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a few things.
I didn't mean to call it
That's
shit.
it. No, it's okay. It's shit. Listen, when it's in contest of everything, it becomes shit. When you're like, I don't want to deal with this shit. That's a versatile word. Let me just tell you. Okay.
They said bring you back. They said to bring you back.
Hell yeah.
Yes, I would definitely bring her back. I like talking to her. Her energy crazy.
So, like, you'll see a lot of these on ghost shows. These are what they call divination rods. Now, a lot of people use them to find water. Okay. And everybody has a different. You want to hold them?
Sure.
Okay. So you're gonna hold them like that.
I am the water, y'all. I don't know the water.
The water.
Darling.
Okay.
That just
yeah.
crazy in my head.
Well, the water's right behind you. That's where the sink's
is
at.
that it?
Yeah.
It's me, y'all. I don't know what you're talking about. No I am the sink.
Snap. You got a yes right there. You are the water.
I am the water, ain't I? I don't know where you going now.
The bathroom. Where's the other water's at?
Oh, that is
I
crazy.
would
have thought it would have pointed right outside though. What you got, like a lake back there?
There is. There's water out there.
Yeah, it's like a lake.
But it also, people use it during, for ghost hunting and stuff like that. They'll ask, questions. So they'll say, give me a yes. And then give me a no.
Ghost?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to them.
That's okay. You don't have to. But, that's it's one of these forms where, give me a yes, give me a no. And these will, move. Okay, show me where the bathroom's at.
Oh, no, I was really trying to show you.
Mm-hmm. Look. I'm just saying, what it is now here's the thing. I also pendulums. These, I think, also work on your body. Mm-hmm. And so since I know where the bathroom's at, it's almost using the electromagnetic
energy. I follow you.
Because it's more, people forget that we are also made of energy and we can interfere with things like that. So a lot of people are like, oh, pendulums, all this, they're not ghosts. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's not. It's your own intuition. There are micro nerves in your body that can you can understand the truth. Where you lie to yourself, your body can also tell you the truth. That's why they say you trust your gut, because all the nerve endings are right here. Mm-hmm. So that's why I like that. We have the pendulum as well. Let me come out, and this is a beautiful pendulum, and it has the goddess on there.
What goddess is it?
It's probably Inanna or some, usually, they have the Gaia or Inanna or something like that.
That's hunger. I never trust my gut. Right? Hungry and a motherfucker.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. You should eat first and then get the coffee out of you. So then you have the pendulum, and some people say, well, what is my yes? And you try to stay as still as you can. You go, stop. What is my no? Okay, is the sky blue? It goes to yes.
Okay.
Do I trust my own gut? No, that's probably true.
Okay.
So, I gotta try to be true to myself. Sometimes I lie. I love to lie to myself because I love the illusion. I love feeling good. I love the rainbows and Cheerios. Oh, but sometimes you gotta be told the truth.
Absolutely.
Because that's how you grow. That's how you move forward. Of course, we have the tasseomancy. We actually have the actual, reading tea leaves cup. It has like different symbols. I like this cup, but I personally prefer the clear cup because I like to make my own choices and not, rely on this.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like this because it makes it easier for them to read. All the symbology is this or all the symbology is that, and it's good. So I mean, I don't want to yuck somebody's yum. That's just some of those things.
I feel that.
There's oracle cards, of course. You can use, there's past life, and this one's like a Kuan Yin, which is like one of my favorites. I'm not very good with the cards. I prefer like the numbers and numerology. You pull it out, yeah. And these are like really pretty cards. Hopefully, because some of these are naked. Some of the ladies are naked in this, so
that's okay. What they gonna do? Spam us? Block us? They already gonna block us for what the fuck Cedric on here talking about.
But like a lot of these, like, it's lovely because you have
y'all finna get y'all asses in a motherfucking karmic relationship. Walk the fuck off now. I don't know why you over there playing with that person. I couldn't be no terrorist. I'll eat y'all ass the fuck up.
Right.
I will eat y'all up. I'll be over here like,
look what I pulled.
Sound the fierce flutes. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
The trumpet of truth. No.
Yeah, that's exactly what I pulled it up. You're telling them.
But you said you always naked. Let me see what I get out these cards for you. Love. Let me ask her. Let me ask them. And they be shuffling through their cards and then
there it
pops out. What this naked mean? Boy, that's biblical. I don't know. Stay naked. Stay naked, love. That's what that means. If you're looking for tarot reads, if you're looking for a good tarot reads, you need to know something, call me. I'm your girl. I'm going to get you together. I'm not going to jail like Miss Cleo. Being naked is biblical, first of all. That's what we just learned today.
We're making it biblical. We're going
I don't know. That's what the card said. I'm just going off the cards, y'all. Stay naked. Stay real to yourself. Stay authentic, because that's really what I think it means. That's biblical. Being authentically yourself. And being naked is biblical, and that's your past life, and that's what the oracle cards.
When you think about it, if you talk about like Adam and Eve and how they when they got knowledge, then they became embarrassed about their nakedness.
Exactly.
And so, if you're not embarrassed by your nakedness and you're free, then you're truly free. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to cover up. You don't have to wear your blankets. So I mean, truth can set you free, but it also gives you embarrassment, and it also gives you knowledge that you didn't know from before.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So there is like a thing of numerology, and I know that.
Go ahead.
Okay. And numerology is the study of numbers, and I know I've said it like 3 to 4 times. We talk about synchronicities. Some people talk about angel numbers. And my favorite about angel numbers, especially because I work in a place that has numbers and stuff.
She wrote this.
I wrote this, yeah. And so a lot of times you'll see like 333 or 444 and like these different numbers, and like people are so afraid of the number 666.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because in numerology, I understand, people will talk about biblically and how it's scared, but in numerology it's more of a helpful number. It's talking about a warning to protect you, that you're focusing too much on material. It's an obsession, it's addictions and things like that. And it gives you a chance to correct or realign your path. So when you see these synchronicities, what am I doing that I'm obsessing about? Is my mind going over and over again, having these negative thoughts or these negative simulations? Am I doing whatever to hurt somebody, or am I being petty? Those are things like that. But then there are lovely numbers like 777 or 888. 888 in Chinese culture is abundance, and a lot of people have kept that. 777. A lot of people gamble, and you see that, but those are luck numbers. 7 is a luck number, but in numerology, it's a spiritual number. So a lot of times it's associated with the highest power, the highest knowledge, or God per se.
That's my life path number.
Hell yeah!
7 is my life path. That's where my research comes from.
Hell yeah! And then you have actual just basic numbers, and a lot of people. That's why whenever we talked about when we first came on, and I saw the numbers when you were getting onto the StreamYard.
Yeah, it was telling me.
So you look here. And you have it was like 9-7.
It was 7.
Humanitarian, which is completion or full circle, or attainment and growth. It was 9-7. Wisdom, sage, understanding, and nature connections.
2 sides.
Yep. Freedom, independence, and non-restrictions. And 2 zeros. New beginnings, new cycles, reborn. So something is ending and something is now beginning. Because it started with 9 and now it's beginning. So I think it's kind of neat. Numerology makes me happy. Because it's like I see numbers all the time. And then you start to see these synchronicities, these things that show up, such as feathers.
Mhm.
And like I was explaining to her before we got on the podcast, is that an old wives' tale or old thing is like if you see a feather in front of you, usually it's a loved one from who's passed that's trying to connect with you and trying to let you know that they're there. Sometimes people will find pennies, feathers, and other lovely things. So it's neat to, say, oh, somebody's thinking about me, or you know what, I've reached those who care about me on the other side, or those who've passed on. So I love things like that, and I see synchronicities in numbers, in feathers, in nature, and then those are some like lovely donations. I can't go over everything because there's so many. There's so many.
Well, Cedric said that his life path number is 11. What that means?
Okay, so my husband's also 11. So, you have you're a vision, you have idealism, and you're what they call on the path of ascended master or emotional growth.
Yes, you need some emotional growth with your unemotional ass. I'm so glad that your number is 11. I hope you find yourself, bitch, because you got some digging to do. And I'm finna bring you a motherfucking shovel. I'm going to Lowe's after I leave, and I'm bringing you a shovel.
But make sure for the 11s that they work on their when they have their 11/11s. To make sure, because 11/11, whenever you see the time, is a portal. So everybody says, "Oh, make a wish for 11/11," because usually the 11/11 is whenever they call the particles change. Yeah. Now, and it happens in each time zone. So it's like make a wish. So you always think 11/11 here, then 11/11 another time zone, and it goes around the world and how it portals around. So that's why they call it the portal number.
Nice. Okay.
Or the growth number. Yeah.
Karrish.
Yes.
Thank you so much for showing up and showing out. Thank you so much for your great energy. Obviously, they love you. They are requesting that we bring you back.
Okay.
So we most certainly will have to bring her back. We'll talk about some things. I've had it to myself for a very long time. So I guess I'll share her with the world. I don't feel any type of way about this. I'm not lying. And Cedric, I've always wanted to marry you. I don't know why you would think otherwise. You were made for me, love.
The deep, mysterious.
Just for me. Just for me. I don't know why you be out there trying to date other people and all of that. So I do want to give you the floor to give you any last words, anything you would like to leave with them with.
Okay. And then when you get right on the spot, I guess my last parting words is always definitely continue to keep moving forward. And what I mean by that is to try to continue to share your knowledge, because I feel like if you hoard it to yourself, then it's going to just be with you and not be moved forward. Share with others, help others learn. Maybe always, help others build a ladder. Sometimes, what I mean by build a ladder is like, if they're not there yet, help them put the first rungs on their ladder. If they're not feeling good, be an ear to listen. If they're, if they just want to just chill and hang out, try to be there as best you can, and share your knowledge with others. And always look for the search. Always look for this truth. If you brought to me something that is not true, what I've said, and it's only because I've learned, I will 100% take that and move forward, because I can always grow from my past learnings. And I want people not to give themselves grace, because they also feel like they're beholden to their past. They used to do this, they used to do that, they used to be, somebody used to be in a gang, or somebody used to be poor, or what have you. They're not defined by their past. So please give yourself grace and know that whatever truth you learn, just keep moving forward and keep moving up, and be willing to share with others and help others move forward, because that's what we are in this path of life, is to help others and keep moving forward.
Absolutely. And he did shoot his shot. It was well received. Don't worry. And Tarian asks, so what should we do when seeing 11/11?
Try to make a wish and hold that wish in your heart until 11/11 is over. Or try to make an affirmation, like saying, today I'm going to, make sure I do A, B, and C. Because usually when you make a conscious effort, especially at 11/11, it usually will pull through. Like, you're like, oh, today's going to be a crappy day. But if you see 11/11 and you're like, well, maybe it's not going to be a crappy day. Maybe it's going to be a good day, and I'm going to be productive, and it's going to be a peaceful, productive day, and nobody's going to yell at me, and this is going to go forward. And you just say exactly what you want. Because sometimes the universe is beautiful, and it doesn't know right from wrong. It just knows energy. And so when you tell it what you want, sometimes you'll get what you want.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
But that's what I would always say, is hold that affirmation in your heart. Maybe not necessarily a wish. Not everybody believes in wishes, but affirmations. Direct exactly what you want and why you want it, and make sure it's a stated intention. Don't be lackadaisical about it. Be intentional.
I like that. They said they loved your ending word, so they
Yeah.
said, "Oh, that's a motherfucking word." Thank you, baby. Okay, so I want to say thank you all so much for tuning into the immersive experience. If you like tonight, you could go to YouTube at the Immersive Experience A podcast, like, subscribe if that is where you are. If you are on Facebook, it is the Immersive Experience, and you can find us on Facebook, and you can like and follow that page as well. Thank you so much for tuning in with us this Sunday. And if you're watching the playback, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And we'll catch you next Thursday.
Next Thursday, yay.
Have a good night.
Bye.